This is one of the last sections for the essay question. Outline and assess the view that social class structures are changing in the contemporary UK, 40 marks. OCR exam, G674, social inequality and difference. Postmodernists would criticise earlier theories for overplaying economic structures and for underplaying the combination of structures and actions, systems and agency of human choices, objective measures and subjective measures of class. Postmodernists would want to combine that information. They'd criticise earlier theories like Marxists and functionists for being class-focused, and influenced by Weberians, they'd argue that it's useful to take a multi-dimensional view. They might criticise the Weberians for continuing to place an emphasis on class. Some postmodernists argue class is dead, such as Bukowski and Waters. The postmodernists would explain intersectionality and argue how class, age, gender and ethnicity, according to Brah, B-R-A-H, simultaneously combine to create inequality. So class cannot be considered as a factor on its own. It interplays with other factors like racism, sexism, ageism and other processes. Daniel Bell, 1973, argued we've seen a shift, or we will see a shift from a from a physical, industrial work, manual work-based economy to mental powers-based economy. Social background will be based on who you know, will become less important than what you know and your knowledge in terms of, for example, workers within Google who have knowledge of software, the latest application of technology. Bell saw this as leading to more pleasant working conditions for workers and improved economic situation. However, you can argue this may overplay the benefits of technology, and it might underplay the nature of work, where some routine IT sector workers experience oppressive, unpleasant working conditions. For example, in call centres. So there's a difference between workers for Google who might have a great deal of autonomy or independent self-responsibility and decision-making and power, compared to those who have the opposite. The Weberians might say that there is still a division in terms of primary labour markets and secondary labour markets, which the postmodernists might need to see, because the postmodernists emphasise choice and change, they might ignore the continuities, and the continuing fixed nature of social divisions. Talk about choice and uncertainty, where we've got the development of 0 hours contracts, part-time work, short-term contracts. We can say that we've got a risk-laden, R-I-S-K, risk-laden economy, where people like Ulrich Beck say that the class system is now more uncertain. Workers in those positions, like Polish workers in hotels in London, in a documentary for Channel 4, reported feeling or knowing that they were uncertain about next week's salary because they don't know how many people will come to the hotel, and that unknown quantity means that they don't know how many hours they will be able to work and how much they'll be able to earn. Class is dead, according to Bukowski and Waters. So earlier theorists like Weberians and Marxists emphasising class divisions might be seen as ignoring the increasing importance of consumption rather than occupation as a division. Status based on identities, based on choices, based on age and other factors might be seen as more important than occupation in forming status. Intersectionality, we mentioned that. Divine, Future Foundation study found that middle class professionals are often reluctant to identify their class for fear of being seen as superior, and so might say that class is less used as an identity because it can be linked with shame, embarrassment. So there's a concept of muddle class. People are uncertain about their class position. Jameson is more Marxist influenced, so he's influenced by the idea of greater change, like postmodernists, and he talks about global labour markets with capitalism, where there is labour markets around the world, which means that there can be exploitation on a global scale due to capitalism. For example, sweatshop workers in Asia, whose poverty enables those in the West to be wealthy. This means that there's continuing process of exploitation, and this suggests that the idea of class being dead might be overemphasized by Bukowski and Walters. In conclusion, with this final conclusion paragraph, we could say there are many ways in which social class remains important. There's evidence that one's economic position limits the choices one has. Postmodernists might be seen as overplaying change, since there is evidence that financial status still plays a part in the choices people can make. The Marxists would support that, the Weberians would argue this is important. Weberians were an influence upon postmodernism, and so they might agree with some postmodernist ideas about the multidimensional nature of inequality. Ultimately, social class remains important. However, it has changed to such an extent that new models of social class need to be developed, such as those developed by Goldthorpe in his study, where he found 8 new divisions of social class.